The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm in Los Angeles. Joined with me here, of course, is Brian Frangie.
Hello.
Hello. Sean O'Connor.
Hi.
And Andrew Collins.
What that?
What
Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that, actually.
Really?
No, yes, you do.
Where the
hell were you?
What's up? What is that? That's for like an airline?
Yeah, it's
I had a bit for a while that whenever the song "Save Tonight, Fight the Break of Dawn," whenever that would be playing and like at a restaurant or the bar or whatever, I just go like, what is this song? This is great. And just see what people do around you when you claim to have never heard that song.
I love doing
it
stuff
wouldn't
like
work
that.
as well now because I'm sure Gen Z hasn't heard that song before.
Yeah,
but
nobody has heard of Eagle-Eyed Cherry.
8 years ago, that song, there's no one that existed in the adult world that wouldn't have recognized that song.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. There is something in your knowledge that hasn't gotten to you that you just coincidentally have missed every single time.
Yeah.
And someone eventually will go, "You've never heard of
Oh,
that?" And it's
God.
like, yeah, because it wasn't my fault. It's not like I'm like trying not to. It didn't get to me. Like I didn't know what a
That
CPA
happened
was
to
until I was
me-
24.
A CPA?
Yeah, I had no idea. It just never got to me.
There's no reason for you to need to know what a CPA
You would
is.
have. I would have loved for you to be there when people found out that I had not known what a CPA was.
That's the machine you put on your face when you're sleeping.
Yeah. The CPAP machine.
Yeah, CPA.
I remember I have a pivotal growth moment for me was when I was I interned at UCB Chelsea in like 2004 or 5 or something, and I was the interns there just get treated like shit. You know, they make you literally clean like bloody tampons out of the toilets.
Oh my God.
And in return you get a
why you're not supposed
discount
to
on
flush
classes. It's just like
Oh, God.
unbelievable.
And
but
improvisers always have a really heavy flow. So
but I remember I was sitting in the box office and I said something like
Scientology.
I've never seen like some ridiculous movie like Back to the Future, and they ridiculed me for like the rest of the summer for not having seen. Yeah, and it's like I'm like 10 years younger than everybody in here.
Yeah, that's the. I have a joke about it. It's like that's what old people do to young people to make ourselves feel better about the fact that we're not young, is we just make them feel bad about things they weren't alive to experience. Like,
Yeah.
There's a million movies that Gen Z hasn't seen that I'm like, I want to go, you haven't seen Clueless. You haven't seen, what was it, Shawshank Redemption. I don't even know if that was one of them, but there was one recently where I was like, you have to see it. And she was like, okay, just add it to the list. And I'm like, no, this one came out 3 years ago. This one, I can recommend. But the others, I'm like, no, I haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I haven't seen Back to the Future.
No.
I haven't seen Star Wars. I haven't seen Empire Strikes Back. Like, but I'm entitled to because I was too young.
Yeah.
And they look blurry and old and shitty now, and it doesn't aesthetically, it's not pleasing to look at. Like, I'm sorry, but black and white things aren't. That's why you make your phone grayscale when you want to look at it less, because it's not visually interesting. That's why, like when you used to do cameos in our apartment, you wouldn't turn on a light, it would be like blurry, and I'd be like, you gotta like make it look nice so people like looking at it.
No, I'm punk rock. People pay extra for that.
it's the grittiness.
I respected the grit. I respected
Well, you got to
it.
go full grit. You can't go half grit.
Yeah, no, you don't want it to be too glossy. Like,
No, that's like when you put on makeup as a girl, you're getting ready and you're like, I should put on mascara. And then you're like, well, if I'm doing mascara, I should do an eyeliner. If I'm doing eyeliner, I should probably do a lip liner. And then you just are full like drag queen makeup eventually. Because it's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
but I do kind of love that current art being made, like TV and movies, all kind of looks so shitty now. Like everything is just like, it's like you're in the room with them, where that's what they want you to feel. And it used to be like, come on, like it's like a play happening in front of your eyes.
Yeah, I like when things look real.
Yeah, you want it to all be reality TV.
Sean, have you watched anything on Netflix in the last 5 years? They're all like perfectly shot.
They're not. It looks,
Unless it's Amelia Perez.
It looks so fake.
Well, I feel like everything on Netflix has this particular aesthetic where it's meant to look perfect.
Cheap.
Yeah, it looks, but it's like cheap. They're just using like the best camera they could possibly do.
Yeah.
But like, if you, I don't want to be like I'm the 70s
nerd.
movie guy, but like when you like watch that, it's like everything is like a real house, and like there's like so much care put into everything that's in the background.
Anytime I see a clip of Jamie Lee Curtis looking young, she's in a real house, or Cher in a like. I don't watch old movies, but whenever you see a clip of one, it's like on a real set. It's not not perfectly aesthetically. Everything's curated. I just things should look sloppy.
Yes,
even sloppiness now looks too manufactured.
Like, it's great that you mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, if you see like an old clip of her hair looks like, no offense to Jamie Lee Curtis, it looks like shit. It looks like there was no care put into it. But it also gives like, oh my God, that's like a real teenager who's going to be murdered, and I care more.
I want things to look more real.
Spielbergian.
Yeah, I want.
Does it cost more though to make it look less like using film as opposed to digital? It takes more time.
Film costs so much money, and then like on top of that, it's like it disintegrates over time. So like, there's no reason to do that when you can just put everything on a computer.
It is so interesting that things like, there's no way unless you like digitally enhance them and have people spend hours like getting them back to looking good. Like, there are things that are shot that will never look the way they looked when they aired.
No.
And you just think, no, it's on TV. Of course it will. But no, it's literally gotten old like everything else does. Everything goes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Warner Brothers spends millions of dollars like every 3 years to make Friends look good still.
Oh,
like,
yeah. You're so right.
Because like, if you watch like Seinfeld on Netflix, it still kind of looks like the 90s. But like Friends, they've enhanced like it, like the colors pop. Like, they're spending so much money to make this.
Huh. And this has been going on for, I think, over a decade or more, but like reruns of Friends, everyone talks like this. Everyone sounds like they're on helium because they're speeding it up so they can fit in more commercials. Yeah. So like literally, Monica sounds like this, and Chandler, like it's like it's all sped up by like 0.2, I would say.
Oh yeah, no,
1.2.
You're right. It is.
To fit in one more commercial. It's one more, $250,000 ad they can sell.
Yeah.
To just
That's
make
art. We're just a commodity used to sell toilet paper.
And I'll tell you, I love speeding things up. I was watching Conclave over the weekend, which I love, but I would have loved to speed that up. I get it. I can just insert here this, just in your head, Isabella Rossellini took longer to walk down this hall. Just remember that it was intended to be longer.
I miss that. Like, things used to be quick and like move, and now everyone like I don't know what happened like in the last 10 years, but everyone wants like to see people like parking, then getting out of the car.
Right.
Like,
yeah, let's just get to the scene.
I like that. I like the slow.
You like I like
I'm
hearing
slow.
like the like going like beep beep, like the doors open like that.
Will it open though?
So many latches being
like Boardwalk Empire or something.
I want to see four people sitting at a table talking real fast.
I want the speed of a Veep. I want the speed of a just a Sorkin speed.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
One theory is that they need to justify people going to the movie theaters by making the movies longer, so it's like an event.
Right, where you can just really tap
like
out
that's
your
another
life.
reason why comedies have gone extinct.
Yeah.
Because like, are you really gonna drive to the movie theater and park and buy a ticket for a 70-minute, 80-minute movie?
But
right.
I'm so touched when a movie's 90 minutes. It's like,
I love it.
Respect my time.
I don't get it. Like, why are we trying to keep everything else so efficient in our lives, but movies are getting so much longer? It's a really weird paradox. I feel like everything's like self-checkout. Like, everything's like go, go, go. And especially the American way. It's just like everything is catering to that except movies.
I think there's a not YouTube is also being like this. The most popular videos on YouTube are like 4 hours long.
Yes, where they're like, here's the history of Fast Pass at Disney, and it's like 8 hours long, and it has like 70 million views.
I think this is a response to places like TikTok shortening everything. People crave just like sitting down with something for a long time, and they don't want to read a book.
Yeah, reading books is like so out. People don't read anymore. It's really hard for me to do it. I keep trying to do it. It's tough. What do you think about when Chris has YouTube TV and I don't watch TV, but I'll see when he has sports on, like it'll come on sometimes. And it'll be like, here's a moment of zen. And it'll just give you like some like, just like grass waving in the wind for about 20 seconds. Why would they do that? There has to be a monetary gain from that because they don't care about us having a second to meditate. Why would it's
ad that they didn't fill.
There's no way they can't fill it with some bullshit. Like, why not sell an ad for $20 instead of that? Like, why put that there?
I think what happens is the ads that they are running are like through Fox, like or like NBC and people like local ads will play there, and YouTube won't do like the local like
Got
YouTube,
it.
which uses Google's. This is right in Allie's wheelhouse. This is what she does for a living.
Your wife, yes.
She points out stuff like that all the time, and she's like, "Why didn't they fill that?" Or then explains like
There's just no way they're doing it out of the kindness of
No,
their heart.
no.
Like you
Trick
need
Could be a
time to
trick
relax.
to keep you watching. Like, oh, you took a break.
No,
like we gave you a break.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if
Yeah,
they've
that's
done
what I'm-
studies that it maybe keeps people
That's
watching
what I'm
because they're like
thinking.
YouTube cares about me.
Yeah.
Like they're
But
like,
no, that's not it.
They're
I
petting
mean,
you.
honestly, I feel like Google's cynical enough to think that, like, going like, we could trick people into thinking that we're a
Yeah, I
good
mean,
company.
they definitely have studied us.
Yeah.
If they could study us and learn that if we like them more, if we feel like they care about us, which we do, like we all want companies to care about us. None of them do.
It's like when you
But they
change
wouldn't
your-
spend that
when-
much money especially if it's like Sunday ticket.
But if it benefited them, if it kept people watching more than filling it with ads to generate a sense of
It's like a palate cleanser.
trust.
I like that as a theory, but I guarantee you it's due to some contractual. We can't play an ad here because we're running the Fox ads, and maybe in 3 years we'll be able to do it after the contract expires and we rewrite it.
But there's no. They would just no one's doing anything out of kindness.
No. Anything that, at least corporations. I
Yeah.
mean, your mother might do something out of kindness, but like
Barely
a corporate.
that.
Yeah.
even. I got into a fight with her this weekend. We got into a huge fight. We were in Vancouver for ERAS tour, and Mom, if you're listening, I'm really sorry because I should have I just should have left it. But like a thing that irks me that I think everyone does is like she was commenting on how beautiful Vancouver was and how it's kind of like reminiscent of Seattle. And I go, have you been to Seattle? And she was like, one time. And I go, well, you could have gone twice because I filmed my special there, but you guys didn't go, which obviously I'm still holding onto resentment of that. But the reason they didn't go, and I remember, was because they had traveled too much that month. Like they were just for fun and stuff. But I'm like, oh, so they were just worn out from traveling. They were older, and
they
it
went
makes
to
sense.
Schumer's special.
They had tickets to Schumer.
Are you talking about your stand-up special that's been nominated for a Critics' Choice Award, an Emmy, a Grammy, and a Golden Globe?
Wait, what? So what is that? Is that EGOT? Wait, Grammy,
Grammy,
Golden
double G,
Globe, double G.
Critics' Choice.
So, kicked.
Could be a Tony.
Yeah,
Eggs.
Geck.
I mean, I'm starting to see a pattern that maybe they shouldn't come.
Yeah,
You know
no
what I
kidding.
mean?
The first,
Like, maybe
I
a
felt
little less
freer.
pressure. You
But
know?
like she was like, well, yeah, well, we didn't go because we wanted you to just have that weekend. We were always at things and we just felt like we were just too much for you. And I go, no, you didn't. Like you're changing the narrative.
Yeah.
It was because you guys had traveled too much and you were tired.
Right. I mean, Elon Gale came. I mean, if he came, then
It's like you were. You're.
very nice,
I just
by
don't
the way.
like. Yeah, we love Elon.
Yes.
There's one good Elon.
Yeah.
So no, the reason they didn't come is because they were tired, which is totally fine. And and yes, I can still give them shit about it, but it was like because they had traveled for fun too much, they couldn't come see their daughter tape her
Yeah.
future Emmy.
they were
Grammy.
too pooped from having fun.
Yes, but then she goes, she made it about her being like, virtuous. Like we wanted to step back and let you we
Yeah.
bother you too much on those things. And I go, that's not what the story was. And she goes, yes, it was. And I go, no, it's because you're tired. She goes, it could be both. And I said, it can be, but it wasn't. Because I go, I've invited you to hundreds of tapings that you have come to. Never once have you ever said, when you had the energy to go to something, never once had you said, it's too much for us to be there. You don't want to deal with us. So why on that one did you it just bothers me when people not just my mom, even I do it sometimes where you feel bad about something because you did something selfishly. And by selfish I don't mean like it's a bad thing. You just did something out of your own self-preservation because they were tired and they have a right to be and to say no to something. But then don't change the story that like I go, Mom, you do this a lot when you don't want to go to a party. You'll go, I don't want to go to this goddamn fucking party. And she goes, and you know what? They don't need us there. You know what?
Yeah.
They have too many people going, and they don't have enough food for us. They have to make excuses why it's
A moral justification for their behavior.
But it all comes from a place of like not honoring what you want. Like I'm tired. That's reason enough to not want to go to something.
She should just come up to you and say, I don't want to go to your special. I'm tired.
Yes, and that would have been fine because I would have been a little hurt and been like, come on. But ultimately, yeah, I would respect that you did
You don't
something
want me to
because of
come to
you.
your special. You hate me.
Yes,
You
exactly.
think I'm a piece of shit.
That's what it was, and I was like, don't put me into this. Don't
Yeah.
make me feel guilty about like.
It's your fault
Yeah.
for thinking I'm such a shitty
So we
person.
got into like a really big fight, like right on the waterfront.
My
in
presence
Vancouver.
will destroy your
It was not worth it.
Yeah, honestly, everything can't be beautiful at the same time. And I feel like that generation like loves gaslighting. It's how they've like learned to live.
Yes.
And it's
The
a
guilt.
way it's a way to still feel comfortable in an uncomfortable moment.
Yeah, it really is about like. It's not about her wanting to kind of evade some kind of blame. It's like about her not wanting to acknowledge that her feelings matter. It really is like just her being like, me being tired is not enough to get out of something because I can't, that's not an excuse enough. I'm not important enough to like, value that. So I have to make it about other things.
This is like reverse Jewish mom guilt. This is like, are you Protestant, Catholic?
Trickle down Catholic because
It's like Catholic guilt, because Jewish guilt would be like the reverse, where like you try to get your kid to do something by being like, you don't want to go to this. Oh, I'm just a piece of shit.
My mom would never do that.
And this is the reverse, where she goes, I don't want to go to this. I'm a piece of shit.
Yes. My mom is the piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yes. It is.
Oh,
reverse.
treat your mother like this. Go ahead. Why don't you just throw your beautiful mother cooked you dinner?
I
for
never
your-"
related to that.
No.
The Jewish mother
The
stereotype.
Catholic
ever.
is, I'm a shithead and you don't want me around.
You hate me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom is Catholic, very Catholic, and she's the combination of the two. Is at times she's always putting it on me, so to let me know that like she's base level guilty at all times.
Yeah.
But then puts everything on me, so I feel that guilt. But then also she will be like, oh, that it's like this could be the last time you ever see me.
Oh God.
And
And
then
you're
I'm
like, God willing.
And then I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to Target just thinking about my mom's death.
Oh my God. No, that's yeah. But to any moms listening, and my mom in general, it's not about you. I have the best mom ever. It's like I don't think there's a single mom who gets out of being ridiculed and overanalyzed and being annoying to their kid.
Thanks,
it's almost
Freud.
like makes you not want to have kids because no matter what you do,
It's not good enough.
unless you have an Italian son, they're going to hate you for
man.
stretches of time and resent you and say shitty things on their podcasts, even though you're the best.
Yeah.
Speaking of Italian sons.
Oh my God, Luigi. What's his last name?
Luigi Mangione.
It's
Famous
as
trumpet
if
player, Chuck
it's like
Mangione.
that rap generator name or whatever. You know, like that. Like it's like for Italian generator name.
Yes.
Didn't the Wu-Tang who got their name from? Oh, Childish Gambino got his name from that generator.
Post Malone got it.
Yeah.
What are we allowed to say about this
That
guy
guy looks like
publicly?
okay. I know who he looks like now because I read on Reddit. Someone finally nailed it because I was like, he looks exactly like someone, and it's Dave Franco.
Oh, yeah.
That's who he looks like. Yeah.
Another Italian.
He's very attractive. This
Yeah,
guy.
did you see his abs?
Yeah.
He's so handsome.
Do you think he's more attractive or less attractive now that he shot somebody?
Oh, well, less. I mean,
less.
that's
It's not as good.
It's personal,
Really?
but I'm
Not into the bad boys.
have you seen pictures of him with like people at dinner and like him having friends? I'm just
Yeah.
dying to know what he was like socially leading up to this.
Well, he's a valedictorian of his high school.
Yes,
He went to Penn. He's an Ivy League student.
Yeah, he's from a super wealthy family
Yeah.
in Towson, Maryland.
Yeah.
He's so
That's where
inter-
Bob Castron's from.
Well,
Yeah.
really? He's so cool. I think he's cool. Like everything I've learned about
Oh
him.
no, Bob went to Towson. Sorry, never mind.
But there's an incredible thing where somebody found a tweet of a guy being like, from the summer, being like, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in months. Like, you promised me that you would be in my wedding. Please answer your phone."
Wait, tweeted at him?
It tweeted at him like his friend, and then there's just like now like 13,000 quote retweets being like, dude was locked in.
Oh my God, he was so locked in.
Yeah. He shut out
Sorry,
everyone.
I can't be at your wedding.
Can
I'm
you
using a 3D
imagine
printer.
being friends with this, this guy had friends.
Yeah. And well, what's most compelling to me about this is, we need to go to break. But
Okay, let's go to break and talk about Luigi when we get back. Okay, back to this shooter guy.
what's most compelling to me about this is this: he got a surgery on his back. And they're saying that his personality changed after he got this surgery because he was in chronic pain, and then he got this probably spinal fusion or something like that. And we
Yeah.
all know that back surgeries have a 50% chance success failure rate. And there's a
We
probably
don't know that. Thank you.
we all know that now.
Yeah.
There's a
Now we
good
do.
it's like a coin flip.
You don't know that?
Yeah.
You don't know that surgery?
Yeah, I saw Andrew. He was like nodding, pointing, being like, "Yes,
Yes, Queen. L7, L8. L8. The whole, the cervix.
But I do believe that either he was driven mad by this surgery because of his interactions with the health insurance company. He also has 2 grandparents that died over the last like 4 or 5 years, and there's a theory that he had interactions with the health insurance company then.
I feel like they died in 2017. I saw.
Yeah,
So it's been longer.
It's been
than
long
that.
enough for
Yeah.
him to go nuts. So that's a bullshit theory. That some
Yeah,
people,
maybe.
Yeah, you can't use your grandparents' death for anything.
Yeah.
They're like 80 years old.
no.
Oh, I shot up a school because my
already-
grandma died from
the
old
only thing you
age.
can do when your grandparents die is write a My Chemical Romance album.
That drummer died.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite band.
But I do think that it's possible he was in horrible pain.
Yes.
And then he was dealing with the health insurance companies and they wouldn't pay for his surgery. He probably was in financial trouble. And that's why he targeted and read that book, definitely, the
Depose.
Depose, Defend.
The
Yeah,
Unabomber
yeah.
one, too.
That's my theory is that this was a targeted attack because of a personal medical issue that was making him go crazy.
And then
Yeah.
Brian sent to Chris and I yesterday, like, the Sarno book could have, like, all of this could have been avoided if he
Right.
had just read the book about healing back pain.
That's
Right?
right.
You don't have to get back
right.
surgery.
If he just
It's
avoided
true,
the
though.
surgery.
I know.
Let's if
God.
if the surgery is what radicalized him, that's absolutely true. that book.
I'm sure he probably got addicted to pills. I'm sure painkillers were a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And then he tried alternative medicine, apparently.
Mushrooms, yeah.
Yeah.
But so many people are angry at insurance companies and are super smart geniuses and are in chronic pain that don't go this far. Like, it's going to be. I wonder what we're going to find out. It just sucks that we don't have information.
And they're not gonna. It's gonna be like it's gonna trickle out and then just stop.
And what about the picture of him? Like, I was reading on Reddit, people were like, when have we ever seen a perp shot from inside the cell where he's standing, like he's asking his buddy to take his Tinder picture, like full body shot on a camera phone? Like, literally, someone goes in the hit. He was like, I look at this stuff all the time. I've never seen this even once in my life of someone inside a jail cell standing upright, full body shot.
looks
That
good.
isn't a mugshot.
It's like the best mugshot I've ever seen.
It's not even a mugshot. It's him in his, like, the mugshot is not up against the wall.
He's
Like,
posing.
it's crazy.
He's a political martyr in a way, and he's doing everything that you would do if you were trying to start a movement.
Wait, what do you mean? What does he do? He didn't ask for the picture. He doesn't get to determine.
But the
what
way that
cops
it's just
put
like
out.
when Trump took his mugshot, he knew that this was a moment that he could use to fundraise, and this
Right.
guy is using this. The
But
hotter
he didn't make
is,
a face or anything. He just stood there. It's
He
not
was
like
hot.
But
Yeah.
he can't help but be hot. He
He
just
did-
is.
He did a bit of a
wasn't.
been
lean.
hot.
He did a
You
lean.
think there was
like,
a lead?
He had a
like
cigarette.
those-
Imperceptible
He had a
hotness.
cigarette.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like, I feel like they're
He had
in
his
a
one
way,
foot out.
gun.
He was leaning against a Tesla.
Holding the gun.
In a way,
with Elon Musk right
I
on.
don't think anyone should get murdered. I do think this
There you
guy
go.
is like a Che Guevara figure.
He's a
and-
hero. This
yeah,
is like when Bin Laden got killed.
Oh, it's.
kind of like I mean,
Yeah, you were
we've ta-
saying that, but what does that
I don't
mean?
want to
What do you
say
mean
that
by
publicly. I don't think anyone should get
just
murdered.
on a podcast.
However, I don't think anyone should get murdered. I don't think there should be a murder spree. However, it's been incredible to see the unity online between Democrats and Republicans, left and right,
We
Fox
haven't-
News and CNN.
We haven't all collectively gone together on something since the slap. At the Oscars. Like we were saying that before. The slap was the last time we all got together.
But
yeah.
you can only drive people so far, and the fact of the matter is these corporations have given people truly no out for the way that they've been treated. Corporations are getting more and more powerful, and consumer rights are getting lower and lower, and people are like, well, what do we do? And the only answer is, well, I guess I'll just kill you.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just kill. If literally I can't do anything to fix this health insurance
Press
problem.
9 for more like
Right.
options.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, well, you know what? That's the one thing that this guy just put on the table. He's like, now this is an option. Are you going to get better?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, well, someone was saying that, like, you know, they're upping their security, and someone had tweeted snarkily. It was like screenshotted that. There could be another way that these people could protect themselves by maybe offering more health care to people. And it's like, But that would cost money. Security is a lot cheaper. Security for billionaires is not expensive for them.
No.
What, a couple $100,000 a year, or maybe
does it come
a
with
couple
benefits?
million a year?
Yeah, a couple million a year. That's a tax write-off.
Yeah,
like
and either
Yeah.
that or give people health care, which
But
will
you probably
be billions
shouldn't go
and billions
kill
of dollars.
people. That's the only thing that may. If there was another way to do it without killing
What about
somebody,
tickling them?
yeah, could have tickled
Yeah.
him. Could have.
Yeah.
no one
make 'em
should-
embarrassed.
No
Yeah.
one should die. I'm just saying there's like 8 healthcare CEOs and so many people have been fucked by insurance
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a thing where
Well-
they denied 32%.
They're the most denial
And they have
company.
AI just
Yeah,
That was
AI
the biggest
does
thing.
it.
This CEO is responsible for
Yeah.
implementing AI claims reps to
Yeah.
their company, and they denied the most out of any company. And then they went in and they discovered that 90% of the AI claims were made falsely, were decided falsely. So people
so
have
like they were wrong.
they were wrong. Yeah, that's another.
But what is there right and wrong? Like what is there? It seems to be arbitrary. What is?
That's how it feels. We need
I
to
didn't even know
change
there
the
was
system.
a litmus
I mean,
to decide if it's right or wrong. I mean, I would assume it's all wrong if things aren't covered for a symptom of the thing.
Yeah, I feel like if you're paying into something and you're paying
Can't
in
use it.
for this exact time to use it, they should approve it. No
And they
matter
don't. They deny. They defend. They defund the police.
Yeah, it's. I've been and then this plus the Jay-Z thing. It's been a very exciting week
Tumultuous,
of
yeah.
insane news.
Yeah.
And I went to ERAS tour in Vancouver over the weekend, and I was before the show. I'm walking like on the floor. My mom and I are going to get water in between Gracie and Taylor, or maybe it was even before Gracie. And this girl comes up to me and goes, "Nikki," and she gets a picture and is like, "I'm a fan." And she goes, "And I'm a journalist, and I work for NBC or whatever." And I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "And did you hear Jay-Z accused of raping a 13-year-old with Diddy?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Jay-Z is accused of raping a 13." There's like so many 13-year-olds. Like,
It's on the jumbotron.
There's so many 13-year-olds, and they go, "Who's Jay-Z?"
Exactly. Yeah. No kidding. And that's exactly. My mom goes, "Who?" And I'm like, "Jay-Z, rape, 13," because it's so loud. Lady Gaga's playing the pre-music, and I go, "No, my God, what?" And she was like, "You're gonna see it on your phone." And I opened my phone, and it was nowhere to be found. And I even wrote to Emily. I wrote to Chris. I was like, "Did you see the breaking news? Because I'm in a bubble right here. I can't get good service." And I was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna get as much traction as this
No.
girl is claiming." But then, I mean, it did kind of blow up. But she was like, "I broke the news story." I was like, "An hour ago, I broke it." And her name is on all the things.
Wow.
Forget her name now. Sorry, it's not off the top of my head. But she's like, "Yeah, I got to fly out of here as soon as this concert's over to go to New York to do a bunch of interviews for it." And but it was wild to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Are all the Diddy rapes just going to get swept under the rug? Is this another Epstein 2.0 where it's just
Yeah.
like we thought that this was going to like blow open the world and then
Yeah, Chris was saying Cosby's free. Like nothing ever. He's one of the most prolific rapists of ever.
I mean, yeah, he has almost as many rapes as albums.
I think it is hard when there's so many. When you get so many rapes, it's hard to like pinpoint one. You got to pinpoint just one.
But then
With
when it's
Diddy,
one,
there's
they
so-
say
Yeah,
that's a lie.
yeah, that's true. There's a sweet spot number of rapes.
But I will
around
say
that.
those Cosby accusers are all so famous now. Like they got what they wanted. They were
Yeah.
like they really wanted fame and notoriety because it makes you so instantly popular, and like you can get on the cover of Vogue if you just say that you've been raped by a comedian
Yeah,
in the 80s.
I know.
It makes you like a global sensation overnight.
The
Because
Cosby accusers
should-
are hosting the SAG
they're
Awards.
saying,
I have something to tell you guys. Jay-Z raped me. Just letting you know.
yeah. It instantly gets you.
But
millions
Cosby's
of followers.
blind now, isn't he?
Yeah, one eye is like
Oh, just
falling
one?
out.
So
Yeah,
are his victims.
there's one going bulging out the other way.
He's
Yeah.
not
Mark
fully
Kelly's
blind.
still in prison.
He might be.
R. Kelly is in
Yeah,
prison.
that's right.
We
That's right.
still have him in prison. And
Did you see Jay-Z's apology?
it's
One
It felt like-
red penny.
it's not an
one
apology.
red penny.
It's not an apology. It's
Someone
a-
said he didn't even say he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Nowhere in it did he
yeah,
did not deny it at all in
He's
the
like,
whole thing.
Yeah, think
Dude.
of Blue Ivy.
No proofreading.
Dude.
Think of my 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah, he did voice to text on it.
Exclamation mark, exclamation mark,
Yeah,
exclamation mark. Too many exclamation marks. It really, like, just joking about this rather serious issue, it was just like, it gave old man. texting into his phone, screaming into the ether. Fake angry Facebook political posts.
He definitely also thinks he's completely untouchable, and because
why wouldn't you?
Literally, the dude was a crack dealer who became a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, in what way do you think he thinks he's going to go down?
And you're married
for
to
this?
Beyonce.
You're married to Beyonce.
Man.
And she won Grammys for writing an album about you cheating. Like, even your failures have turned into gold.
Let me ask a question. So I saw a picture of Beyonce and Jay-Z that they used in this article for them. And then Beyonce was wearing this. They were at like the beach or something. And Beyonce had this makeup on where she had like green eyeliner underneath her eyes.
Uh-huh.
How come that's not a thing more often? I thought that looked really good. Not over the eyes.
I didn't know where this was going, but
Under the eyes.
I think that's just a very specific makeup choice that's too costumey for regular folks.
I mean, let me find the picture because it didn't look costumey to me.
Okay, yeah, find the picture.
I'll
because
find the picture.
That sounds cool though, and I think that the reason is because that would look insane on most people. But
Yeah,
she's
I think her
Beyonce; she can do
complexion
anything. Yeah,
complements it.
yeah,
And
that's a
then,
good
like-
question though regarding all of this.
Yeah, I think like the most important part of this Jay-Z story is
It's wild.
Beyonce's.
Yeah.
But I just
really
know
love
that
it.
was a tense screening of Mufasa last night.
Oh,
That was a weird vibe in the room.
It was.
At a kids movie. That
I would
He also-
love to. I mean, like they definitely had to have talked for like 3 hours about whether or not he should go.
Oh my God,
And he was like,
yeah.
I'm
I'm
going.
going.
I'm going.
Yes.
I love Billy Eichner.
I want to know. Is he Timon? I want to know so badly, like how that response that he put out what came to be. He's on the toilet, feverishly talking, texting into his phone, sends it, does not run it by anyone in his, I would say, millions and millions of dollars of PR, people that the team around him.
A PR person didn't even see it until we saw it.
No way
Whoa,
did they see
I read it so differently. I read it like it's been prepared, ready to
No,
go.
Oh
dude,
my
it
God.
was
No.
a mess.
Oh.
It was a
He got
mess.
me then.
No,
not
there was
like got
misspellings. I mean, he's meant to say psychics, but he wrote physics. Like there was misspellings in it. It was not. One red penny made no sense to capitalize one red penny, and like it just.
Oh my
it
God,
was,
that's such an old
interesting.
saying.
It's such an old.
You can tell that's like when he was like holding his phone, shaking, screaming, "One red pen." It was like Mel Gibson.
But it didn't capitalize it, so then he had to go and he had to hold it down and highlight it and then find the thing on his phone that caps it and because it doesn't do. Or he went all caps, one red penny. But either way, he had to like go in.
Isn't it underlined also?
It reminds me of when like I have to remember sometimes. I said this to you one time that Eminem must go to rhymezone.com. He has to. It's just so cute to see someone so badass like having to do something like technical
like
and
putting
like
their glasses
highlight
on.
it or like press it down and go, where on the Google Doc does it have the underline? Is it up on edits or tools? And he had to like ask Blue Ivy for help on it. She's like, that's how she finds out.
Yeah.
He's like, someone's gonna tell her. It's like, no, Dad, I had to show you where how to caps something. And why, by the way, like, if we're talking about editing things, why can't you highlight something and then make it all caps? You have to like go back and retype it in all caps.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why
that's-
can't you
that's a
instantly
feature
all
that
cap something?
If you get some more of these independent word processors, you can
They can do that.
Yeah.
But why are they holding that back from every single? Like that's the easiest
That's for the
fix
1%.
ever.
That's for the billionaires
Yeah.
to use, not us.
That's so
They
annoying.
get the special
Is that the
features.
picture
What
of
do you
the
want,
green
shoot someone
eyeshadow
over
or
it?
green? Oh, that is very cool. Okay, so that's like a dusting of green eyeshadow, like glittery green eyeshadow on the under. Like it's really cool. I'll
Yeah,
try it and
and
show
she's
you why I
just-
shouldn't.
And they're just at the beach. It's not like this is some kind of.
I think that's an eye infection.
Oh, well, yeah. It's also because Beyonce has an incredible face. Like,
You could do anything.
like she could be.
Why aren't people wearing more diarrhea streaks down their cheeks?
Exactly. Like she
Yeah.
could put a Doritos bag on her head. And
Yeah, we all be like chic.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
He also did 2 albums with R. Kelly, and he's been friends with P. Diddy for 20. I mean, it's like
That's the thing is like
how
you
do
can't not at the very
be
least he
that-
knows.
Yeah, he must
Yeah.
have seen something. you know?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
my mom said, and what does Julie Glaser know? A lot, but she kept saying, I just keep getting shivers down my spine because my mom's been obsessed with this Diddy stuff, so she's been watching tons of video, and she's like, and I haven't seen it, but she said there's a lot of footage of him at white parties where he's like, get the cameras off me, like really weird about cameras at white parties, like more than anyone.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, yeah, he feels like the guiltiest man in America.
Yeah.
Like, he's guiltier than the United Healthcare shooter or Luigi Mangione.
But everyone's split. Like, Anya was like, this is the exact statement I would write if I were innocent. And I go, I have to say, literally everyone disagrees with you.
Yeah.
Everyone. This is the most, like, people, it seems the opposite vibe. But it's like, teach their own feeling about it.
I'm not. I think, though, he like took the Trump approach where you attack. And it works.
And Trump is what? Innocent? Like, that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
he get away with it.
No, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying get away with it.
But I'm saying, like, what it reads to people who know.
I don't
like,
see that as he's innocent,
Trump
but I do think
the biggest
it works.
liar of all time. It does work.
Yeah.
Of all time.
It turns out the best way to handle anything is to attack and not apologize, even though that makes you the biggest piece of shit in the entire world.
I will say that every time I have ever been in a fight with someone and I take full responsibility and I literally go, whatever you did was in a response to the shitty thing I did. Like, I really, like, you don't have to be sorry about anything. I started this with all the shit. It has never once not worked to mend a relationship, to make you both feel better about it, and then that person who may or may not owe you an apology never doesn't give you what you need back.
Well, that
and you
works.
may or may, it's not even I'm doing it to manipulate them into giving me an apology, but they never don't go, actually, you know what, I could have been better too. It always leads to that. It's always good to just take full responsibility when you can.
Absolutely. It softens the ground. You're at even footing, and then all of a sudden, all of that anger washes away, and you could actually just be real with each other.
Yes.
Yeah, if he was a pedophile and just apologized, it'd be
Yes.
fine.
This works for personal relationships.
Maybe if he gave her one red penny.
Now that I'm a father, I would never do that. We love that when men become fathers and suddenly they would never rape
That
again.
only works for personal
That's the old
relationships.
me.
Yeah,
As the son of a mother.
Yeah. It is true. Like, once they become fathers of daughters, they like, oh, I get it now.
You shouldn't rape.
Yeah, they're people.
Yeah, and for some reason that does give it some gravitas that me as a person who knows it's bullshit kind of goes, oh yeah, they would never do that. But I wonder. I was just thinking. I think it was Whitney Cummings on her podcast was talking about the white parties, how that's like the worst color to wear at those freak offs, and that's how you would know if you already raped someone is if they were just staying. She's like, oh, maybe that's how they keep track of like, oh, that person's been raped already.
I don't know.
It is so funny.
Cum doesn't really.
No, it's
show.
all you need an off-white party.
Like,
Yeah. For cum, you just need.
Yeah.
No, but blood or feces or that's bad. Okay, what am I doing?
So-
No, you really want a tarp party, but that's saying too much. You're giving away the game.
Also, it'd be very
party is
slippery with
so
the baby oil.
The
Baby oil, it become a slip and slide.
Yeah, you know what? I think the dead giveaway is the freak off part.
I love the idea of a white party where it's transitioning to a freak off and they're just waiting for one Gayle King to leave.
They're all looking at their watch like.
About bedtime, 9:34.
They start pushing her out of
yawning.
Oprah's gone, maybe.
They all pretend to go to the valet to drive around the corner.
Yes, because you know that the white party, if like anyone that went to a white party doesn't mean they were involved in raping teenagers at all.
No,
but the freak offs for sure. Like if you were either watching or getting.
Yeah, Oprah was gone. Like Connie Chung left.
Stedman stuck around. Let him have some fun.
I mean, Oprah's with Gayle.
That's why I say just do all the pedophile stuff before the party. Get it out of the way, then you can just hang out with Gayle and not have to make her leave. You know, do it 4 p.m.
Plus, then they can get a home for homework. I feel terrible about this. I want to apologize.
Let's talk more about shooting a CEO.
Yeah, let's get back to something safer.
So are you?
That everyone can agree on.
Tonight you're going to be on Kimmel when this comes out.
Oh my God, is it already happening? It's tomorrow.
What is this? Just an appearance?
Yeah, just an appearance.
Are you promoting something specifically?
The Golden Globes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, but Kimmel's on ABC.
Yeah. They are so nice to me over there. Like Kimmel likes me. He's always reached out and said nice things, and it'll be my third time in a year being on.
Amazing,
Kimmel.
and he hosted the Oscars.
6 months, I think.
So maybe we'll get advice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask for advice. I think, so how these late night appearances work is that you. The producer, I have a call with them actually right after this to talk about what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. They usually have been combing through my Instagram. They've been listening to podcasts. They do a bunch of research, and then they have ideas of oh, I heard you talking about this thing. Maybe we talk about this. Jimmy asked you about this. You went to the last ERAS store, and then I also usually come with a bunch of ideas. But generally, I think just celebrities don't have any ideas, and then the person just presents it. So, because every time I talk to a producer, they're like, my God, you make my job so easy.
Yes, of course. Those late night shows, the comedians come prepared.
I don't know why they don't book comedians almost exclusively.
They want to get bits in. They care about this. And then
Yes.
if you watch just any celebrity, I'm not gonna name names, but most of the time it's so I just heard you just got back from Sweden.
Yes.
and then they just talk about being at a
I understand
hotel.
your daughter likes singing. Yeah, and then it's cut to the video of it that no one cares.
Yeah, no, she just started, and we're really proud of her. And
Yes.
so cool.
Oh, and she
Whoa.
loves Wicked, right? And you took her to see Wicked.
I mean, you heard about that?
Well, we have a
It's an
picture.
interesting question because
It's an interesting question.
not many people ask that.
Well, I was okay. So can I pitch some
I
ideas?
hate when people do. They always. That's a really good question. Don't you hate when people do that?
That's I always
It's
say
a
that's a really
tactic.
good question that allows me some time to think by saying it's a really good question. Because it's a really good question. It's just buying you time to figure out what the fuck it means. That question makes me uncomfortable, and I need a second.
And you're
But it is
complimenting yourself through it somehow. I don't know.
I
it
have
does
said
make
it
the
before
question
because sometimes
asker
there
feel
are
good.
good questions.
Yeah.
Yes, and it does make me feel good when I have it said. But I would say 50% of the time I say it to someone, it's buying me time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of, I'm going to talk about, possibly talk about a show that Sean and I did together that we've mentioned on this show that was the worst show of my life. Because Chris Rock also just had a headline where he walked out of a Billionaires show that he had to do.
Yeah.
Apparently he made a joke about putting Mexicans on a plane or something, and then he saw someone filming him, and he didn't want a Tony Hinchcliffe moment, so he walked off stage because someone was filming him. And people are saying, oh, he walked off because he got caught saying a racist joke. And it's not that. He was just doing a dumb joke.
Yeah. It's a private event.
But it was a private event for Republicans.
Yeah.
Essentially, he was giving them what they want, which is what you do when you get hired by Republicans. You give them what they want before they bring in the.
And this person filming wouldn't stop filming?
And I guess someone was filming and he walked off stage fuck this, I'm not doing this, and walked through the crowd and just left, which I wish I would have done, except I would have walked into the ocean.
Yeah.
Just never come
It
back.
was right there.
Yeah. So, Sean and I had this gig in Cabo that was fucking terrible and one of the worst hours of my entire life. And so I might talk about that because I just think that people love to hear about comedians having a shit gig, and it's especially funny when it was literally a month ago.
And a lot of people don't know about these types of gigs. That comedians do get hired by corporations to do events for the staff.
Dance, monkey dance.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get hired by these billionaires just to make their parties seem more cool.
Yes. And so I think I'm going to talk about that. And then there was a moment at ERAS where a girl was in front of me standing up, and I posted it on my story, but she was had her phone above her head, put her hands all the way up to get out of the, to go above all the people doing it in front of her. And she was 5'10", I think, already. And then with her arms up, it was 6'2". No, 6 foot, 7'3".
With the arm span?
8
With the
foot,
arm, what is that?
9 foot.
How much arm am I getting?
2.5 feet,
You're
maybe?
probably-
2.5 feet
Yeah.
above my head?
Yeah. Oh, no, above your head. Maybe 2 feet above your head. You have
You're
pretty long arms.
6'6".
Okay, so she was,
6'10",
7.5 feet tall in front of me, 40% of the show before Taylor even got on stage, and she didn't even know Gracie Abrams.
She
songs.
could do it for a short amount of time.
Yeah,
One song.
This is what I said.
Or
I want to
selfie
kind of go through the etiquette of going to a concert, and because I think that could be a fun clip to pass around of because I just think based on what I've read from people going to Charlie XCX and people going to Sabrina Carpenter and all these like girly, like people are just rude at concerts. They're singing too loud. They're not appreciating it. They're not thinking about other people around them. When you're here's a big thing. When you're doing the moment where you're waving your phone light to do the kind of 70s thing where everyone used to take their lighters, you don't need to put it. This did not occur to me until way later because I was going to ERAS shows, and during Marjorie, the song about her grandma, everyone does that, and it looks really cool. And you're really doing it for her. You're not really even doing it for yourself. You're like doing it for Taylor so she can see like this amazing mass of like people with their lights up. You don't need to lift it. You could just put it right in front of your face and not ruin anyone's view, and the light is still being shown. It doesn't change that it's higher for her. Like, you don't need to block anyone's view. Just put the light right next to your head and sway back and forth. And the same with capturing video. Like, I understand that sometimes I do need to get up because someone in front of me is up, but only 30 seconds at a time, no more than that.
Yeah.
And then you go back down, and you can't do it every fucking song.
I agree with the electronics, but I had the opposite experience where I was at the Billy Joel concert, and Allie and I stood up and we were dancing.
That's different.
And then someone threw stuff at us almost
different.
immediately.
Yeah, but how shitty were you dancing?
You're not creating more
I've seen
body
you dance,
mass
Brian.
than you are. You're
Right.
not raising your arms to capture a video that you're not going to fucking do any with. Because
videos,
also, the
the
video
video
I'm watching them
capture
capture is shit. Their phone screen is smudged, so it's blurry. They're not even doing the thing where you tap it and then you lower the resolution or lower the brightness so that she pops on stage. It looks horrible. They don't have a YouTube account where they're feeding this to the masses. Like, this is just for them to watch alone in bed later and wake up their boyfriend because they don't have any decent.
Well, or to brag to their friends that they went to the concert.
I guess, but like, it's not even good footage. It's like, I have a right to do it, which I don't do it, but if anyone has a right to be ruining other people's time, it's because I capture good footage that is literally being fed to a Taylor Swift fan account that I send her all my Dropbox videos so she can make videos of it and disseminate it to hundreds of thousands of Swifties who are enjoying it. So I'm actually making content for the masses that looks good. I'm zooming in at the right times. I memorize where she walks on stage so I'm not missing it. It's not herky-jerky. I have it on the right 10K resolution speed with 60 SPS or whatever that Emily's taught me. I'm not blurrily shaking the camera, holding it, not even looking at it, and just holding it up so I can capture that I was there. Like,
so you can send it to your sister and be like, look at me, bitch.
and she won't even watch it because it's unwatchable. It doesn't even look good. So you're wasting everyone's time.
It's not about the quality of video. It's about you going, I'm better than you because I'm at this
Take
concert.
a selfie of yourself being there. That's all you need. We don't need footage of it. Look around you. Everyone's capturing this moment. Watch it. There's literally every single moment that she was on stage in ERAS. There's 14 different angles of it captured really well on YouTube and Instagram. But even if you want your specific show, like I always tell people when I was going to shows, don't film everything. Like, you can find this show on YouTube shot better from a better angle than where you were. Like, just relax. And usually I'm the one shooting it. Like, I did take it as my job to make good content, and I couldn't do it because the fucking bitch in front of me was shooting. I was filming what she was filming.
All your footage is just
maybe that bitch has her own Taylor Swift account that she's trying to build.
But I understand, but she shouldn't because she was bad at videography. She was horrible. I was filming what she was filming to prove that it wasn't even worth getting. I became obsessed. I couldn't relax.
And there was someone else filming you, filming her.
I was hoping someone was witnessing it because I would love.
Do you have this footage?
Yes, I have. And then I had my mom take a video of me filming so I could show, because I knew people were going to be like, Nikki, how can you complain about this girl? Now you're posting video of Taylor Swift. How did you get that? I'm like, here's how I got it. You hold it right in front of your face so that you're not blocking anything that's not already blocked.
Yes.
And I would say to the short girlies who wrote to me and said, what am I supposed to do? You can absolutely do the thing where you raise your head, hands above your head. You are short, so you're entitled to more space that you're not getting from height. And also, but just don't do it for longer than I would give you a minute. But longer than 30 seconds for an already tall person is just really disrespectful. And also, dim your fucking phone screen, because it's not fun to watch Taylor Swift with an arm and then also a really bright screen in your face. Also, people just pay attention to bright screens. When you are like on a plane, it is really hard to watch a movie when there is a window open, when everyone else has their window shut. And we're trying to watch you with your window open. Why? So you can read your book with natural light? I hope you get skin cancer from the fucking natural light coming through. I really hate you. I think it's so. People are just. we're living in a world where people do not care about other people and like don't even consider other people's experiences around them at all.
Sharing space, it is completely just disintegrated since 2020. Like,
what's going on? I mean, they're getting it right in Tokyo and
Singapore,
in North or South Korea. North Korea, they're really getting it right. They don't even have.
They don't even have windows.
We gotta take a break.
Okay, let's take a break and I'll come back and bitch some more. Final thought. Has it really been since 2020 that this has gone to shit? Like, Anya wrote to me today. She was sitting in a diner and she said, there is a woman who is on speakerphone with someone on FaceTime talking so loudly at this diner, and everyone's dining quietly around us. And the table next to them are trying to get work done and they can't. She was like, I can tell they're annoyed. I'm annoyed. And I go, say something. And she goes, I can't. And I knew exactly what that meant. She couldn't say something. And I go, just do it. But she goes, Nikki, I can't. Yeah. I'm going to look a certain way if I do. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, now we understand now why you can't.
No, but I feel like after 2020, when we were all locked down, like for a while, like being away from everyone for like 9 whole months, no one assimilated well when things opened up.
Well, it's a combination of that and also everyone was being told what they can and can't do, which just it woke up something inside people.
The mask thing.
The mask thing, you can't go outside. You can't go to a restaurant. And then for certain people, that makes them go insane.
It turns out I am such a sub. Like, where I'm like, I love when people tell me what I can and cannot do.
I can't imagine even, like, I would never listen to anything on my phone at full volume. I hardly ever do it when there are friends around who aren't like really working on something and they're just sitting there on their phones too, and it's something I even want them to hear, kind of. Like, I wouldn't even do it then, kind of. I can't imagine, like, the psychopathy of someone who would listen to something, and I know this has been fully discussed online. We all are perplexed at these people, but there's so many people that listen to things on their phone and talk on speakerphone and talk on FaceTime and talk loudly on planes. What's going on?
Yeah.
I really think they should. Let's get Luigi on it. I really think these people. It's such an antisocial behavior that they need to like. Yesterday, Benedict Polizzi was on a plane and he tagged me on it because I started this thing of on the plane someone talking loudly behind me. I just go, I'm not that, and like act like I'm listening to them because it's crazy that it happens so often on planes where people just feel so important they have to talk really loud because they're. And it's always kind of like a saucy subject where they're like, and I told her I'm not putting up with this anymore, and I blocked his number. Like, it's always kind of like they think they're so interesting that you should want it over here, which I've been guilty of before because my stuff is actually interesting. Like, I will say I know what people are entertained by.
Well, sometimes you can do that for an Uber driver. Like,
yes, I give them a little bit of a gift.
Let's have the juice come out.
If I'm going to talk anyway, but I'm not screaming in a way that is like obnoxious in a place where people my Uber driver's not trying to sleep right now.
Yeah.
Where everyone else on this plane might be.
I don't mind
it's a 7 a.m.
during
flight.
boarding, like when you're waiting for the plane to take off. I don't mind when people are on their phones because that's like fun little thing to listen to. But
what?
You can't do it on the plane.
No, you never ever have your volume on your phone up.
Oh, no. I'm talking about someone talking into a phone.
No, that is rude.
The moment it's
interesting to listen to, but it's
your
still
ticket gets
rude.
blooped, you are now a part of a group. And that group
group does not ask, "Is this home for you?" Yeah. No asking people.
I'm no fun on a plane.
No, I am zero fun on a plane.
You're not a 3.
I think
yes,
I'm a 3.
Is. He's a 3 for sure. I'm the same way. I'm a 3.
I guess
What's a 3?
Can I Enneagram? Can I say I had instant karma happen to me at the gym, which is the exact same thing happened. So I go to the gym and I have my headphones into my phone, and a few days ago I got a phone call while I was at the gym listening to music, and I answered it and I was like, "Hey, I'm at the gym, but like you can talk to me and I can talk like pretty quietly." And I looked around me. I had like an hour-long phone call. I looked around me. Everyone else has headphones in.
Yeah.
So I was like, no one can even hear what I'm saying. So I started testing it. I was like, I said like ass, shit, and like no one even looked at me. So I was like, oh, this is something I can do. So then the next, like yesterday, I did the same thing.
They probably think you're listening to Cardi B.
I was at the gym.
Or the person at Anya's Diner.
I got a phone call from the same person.
CEO.
And I was like, oh yeah, I can just talk on the phone at the gym now. And I saw there was a couple of people who didn't have headphones in. And then I go do sit-ups on the, when you hang on the sit-ups and you're hanging upside down basically.
Yeah.
And my phone fell out of my pocket. and it broke my headphones, so I couldn't do the phone call anymore.
Oh my
it was
God.
Instant karma.
Whoa.
And I was like, you know what? God, you're right.
You're right. I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I made a mistake, and now I have to buy new headphones.
Guess what? Speakers on phones can they can pick microphones on phones can pick up your normal voice. There's almost never a reason to yell unless you are on the stock trading floor in 1994.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to ever scream on a phone ever, but people can't help themselves. And Americans are just notoriously very loud. And I realized that being in Canada, we were in Vancouver and we were at this Vietnamese restaurant that was all Vietnamese people. And then like me and my mom and then this table of Americans this little woman was so fucking loud.
Yeah.
And
especially on vacation.
And she wasn't saying sorry. So it was just like, what was that? Oh, I had an interaction that was really bad with someone where I can't tell it. Fuck.
Oh, go ahead. I mean,
to talk about that tall woman, like you kind of expect better from Canada.
And this girl, she had her boyfriend with her who was like all over her, but she was kind of like, ugh. So my mom and I determined like 100% he got her their ERAS tour tickets, and she's gonna break up with him right after because he couldn't stop touching her. I am so disgusted by couples that need to constantly rub each other's fucking backs at a show to show you how much in love they are. I'm again 30 seconds at a time is fine. Not the whole goddamn show. We get it. You're so in love. Just stay home and grope each other. We don't need to see that. I don't need to. And maybe I'm jealous, but I don't think I am. It's just too much.
PDA, like I was like grossed out by PDA in my 20s. Like I truly do not need to go to an Olivia Rodrigo concert and see somebody get fingered.
Yeah,
especially by yourself.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that is why I'm there.
Yeah, to do it, not to watch it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear someone like I'll just be walking in a hotel or something, and someone laughs, and the laugh is so uproarious and loud. I get angry.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I'm like, there's nothing in the world.
Or a sneeze that's loud.
Oh well, the sneeze that's different. I think the
Those
laugh.
people
I'm like, there's
subconsciously want
nothing in the
attention.
world that's as funny as you're laughing.
No, that woman has a crush on someone nearby.
Oh,
And that because
that's why.
women do a thing. I mean I know that I have done, like when you are horny for someone, you'll laugh really loud and like throw your head back and like it's like orgasmic kind of. And so it's a way of like signaling like this is what it looks like when I'm coming. Like and you kind of put that out
that's
there.
interesting. So if I think about it that way, it makes it a little better.
Yeah, and
she's
And you
just
get angry
coming.
when women come.
and I do.
Why must women come?
Yeah.
And some people also have very annoying laughs.
Yes.
I am one of these people.
But it's not
Oh!
loud,
And-
and it's no.
And I've ruined many a New York
Tapings?
Comics like album recordings.
Yeah.
Like
No, your laugh is great. I would.
Is
disagree
it your
with
current
that.
laugh, or did you change it?
I know it's still there. It came out last night and I heard myself doing it.
What does it
and I
sound
was
like?
I can't do it.
Oh, you can't do it artificially.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
but no.
artificial, but it sounds fake.
No, your laugh is great. I totally disagree. But I want to say one more thing. So remember when I went to the concert in Indy with my mom, and there was a woman that like snuck into our section, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
kind of smelled bad, and she was just like taking up too much space, and then I got her kicked out.
Yeah,
and
gutter punk.
I told her to move, and then she moved in front of us, and I was like, I forget what the interaction was, but she took a picture of me. Do you remember that girl?
Oh, yeah, of
And then I
course.
go, bitch, I took a picture of you. Don't even try to post that. Like I got you too. Like we're both on. We're at Vancouver ERAS, and I go, Mom, look who it is. And
No.
she fucking snuck in our row again.
punk?
No.
The same gutter punk bitch, the same woman with her little twitchy like squirrel with like rabies behavior, and she's by herself and she says, she makes me so sick. And she snuck in again, and then she didn't fit in our row, so she moved to the one in front of us. And she's just she's not even paying attention to the show. She's just on her phone, just trying to get footage, and like her energy makes me sick. I know I'm being so mean because she's probably just like a struggling person, but I don't think she just was and I was so wanting to sick a security guard on her, but I was like, no, be a better person. Just let her enjoy her night. This girl literally probably doesn't have much to live for. She's alone. She has a shirt where she's put all the confetti she's collected at Taylor Swift shows and stapled it on her shirt. So it's just like dirty confetti all over this shirt. But I took another picture of her, and she saw me too, and I just goes like, Mom, there she is. And my mom goes, no. And I go, from Indianapolis. She goes, no, remind me. And I pulled up the other picture. I go, that's her.
How could
was
she
there
be such a
again.
wreck, but then also have the money to buy these tickets?
She's like your
She's not
Newman or
oh,
something.
she was she's my mortal enemy. I can't stand
Is
this
she
girl.
like fish? like fish fanning Taylor Swift.
I mean,
like,
I'm the same thing. You know, like we're
Yeah.
doing the same thing, but I would never ever have a seat in a section that I didn't like and then try to weasel my way to the front by finding
That's
like
too
she was a weasel.
Yeah.
She's by herself and she was trying to blend in. Like these people are just disgusting. Like stay in your seat. I understand. Like I was really just I don't know why she. Because I guess even when I have shows and there's a couple seats in the front row that I see empty, I'm like, someone should come over here and get them. So I'm a hypocrite, but she really bothered me.
Yeah, not her though.
If she would have just done what she did at ERAS Vancouver, I would have liked her and been like, oh, her shirt's cute and fun. But because of my indie interaction and then seeing her again and be like, you made it here too,
You're beginning to understand how racists feel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I don't understand
this
why.
Is a
I
white
just
woman,
don't
by
want
the
this
way.
person near me.
Could you smell her again?
No. And I didn't smell her the first time. My mom said she was really bad. But man, I just didn't.
Be so funny if
it's
you
not fair
caught
when
the
you just
whiff.
don't like the way someone moves. You're just like, this isn't fair. Like that's
When
not
you get the
nice.
ick for like a boyfriend or something, you're just
I
like
just don't
everything
like her
you do
twitchy
disgusts
movements,
me.
and it's all based on like something from my. She reminded me of someone I can't.
I try
Maybe
to
it
give
was
people
you.
the benefit of the doubt,
Probably.
like, oh, they don't do this that often. Like someone on a plane will get up right away, or they'll do something, or they'll grab your chair when they stand up.
Oh, God.
Which I lose my mind over.
I
But then
just
I'm like,
can't
oh, maybe they just
imagine
don't fly a lot. And I
having-
try to be empathetic, but it's like, how do you not know? Like, how are you just not a human being?
I just don't
that-
understand how the golden rule didn't get like I remember learning about the golden rule and being like, oh my god, that's such a great way to move through life. Just picture, only do things that you would want. Like think it's almost a selfish way to look at things. Like would I want to be next to someone who's loudly listening on their phone? No, so I'm not gonna do that. Like it's not even like being nice to others. It's actually like I'm putting out there what I want. Why don't people absorb it? Because I literally, what I was going to do to the woman if I did approach her about her holding her phone, because my poll on Instagram, which I don't think 92% of people said that they would have said something to her. I go, do I say something or I do not say something?
Oh, you didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything because she stopped doing it because your arm hurts from doing that long.
Yeah.
And she kind of lost, and I kind of knew she would probably tire out by the time Taylor got like halfway through. So it stopped, so I didn't need to say anything, but I would have said something. What I was going to say is just show her the picture of herself and say, would you like this in front of you the entire show? That's what I was gonna. That was my plan of being like, hey, do you mind? Maybe at first I was gonna say, hey, do you mind like recording just a little bit lower? And then if she gave me attitude, I go, would you like this in front of you? Because I could stand in front of you and do it if you think that's an acceptable way. Like, I was gonna then start some shit.
Yeah.
Because that's the truth. It's like, would you want this? Then don't do it.
I think it might be because that we're blending our online personality, which is becoming half of our life, with our in public personality, and it's becoming we're getting less practice at interacting with people in the real world.
Right.
Everything
Yeah,
is
you're right.
online. I mean, everything that's important is online.
Yes.
Everything that you do, even when you do stuff live, all that matters is what happens the next day on the internet.
Oh, I said the most awkward thing yesterday to the barista that I'm friends with at the Starbucks down the street. Like we're buddies. Like I see him twice a day, every day, and I go, "Hey, David, good to see you again." I go, "How's it going?" He's like, "It's crazy out there." Like he must have had like a day or something. He's just, but it sounded like he was talking about the world. He's like, you know what's wild? I go, I know, Jay-Z raped a 13-year-old. And I said it loud, like not loudly enough for anyone to like be disturbed. But you could just tell that was like not what he was referring to at all. I thought he was kind of like, God, the news cycle. And he was like, it was just so, and thank God he's like a nice guy who like knows my sense of humor because he knew who I was, but like it just didn't land right. And I was obsessed with that at that moment. So like, of course, to me, it was just like a colloquial thing to say.
God, that is so funny.
What did he say back? He just gave you a look?
He just goes, yeah, our heroes just disappoint us so much. He yes anded it. He was he's
Well
David
done.
at Starbucks at on Sunset, West Sunset is Altaloma, I think, and Sunset is a real one.
That's it for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with more show with the same group. I can't wait. And we're recording it tomorrow, so you're not getting a doubled up one. And watch me on Kimmel tonight. And don't be kid. Bye.